Good evening. I think there's literally nobody watching this chat. That is okay. I decided that I was going to do something that was kind of odd, but also just trying to get a little bit more content up on this channel. And so as we are enjoying a beautiful spring evening, I had to open up and go through this order that I received. Oh, this is fascinating. So this side of me, this is like lighting 101. This side of me has lighting from a lamp. This side of me has lighting only from the window. So two halves of my face look very different. Not gonna lie. This is kind of fun. All right. So since there's nobody here, I'll just do whatever I want. Selamat Hari Paskah, although sudah hari Senin di dalam Indonesia dan Malaysia. Tapi hari Minggu ini adalah Hari Paskah. And in English, that's Happy Easter and Happy Resurrection Sunday. It's already Monday in Indonesia, but here in the United States of America, even on the East Coast, which is I'm on the East Coast time, we still have almost 6 hours left of Resurrection Sunday. So it's already Monday in Indonesia. So saya suka berbicara bahasa Indonesia dalam videos dan saya mau melatihkan bahasa. Saya sudah lupa banyak, tapi harus berbicara dan saya mau ingat bahasa. So if that doesn't bring in the viewers from Indonesia, I don't know what will. Anyway, so I guess selamat hari Senin. Setelah Hari Paskah, and we'll get right into it. Okay, so I received an order from Poshmark, and I thought I would do an unboxing like a dang influencer because I've never done that before. And I'm not an influencer, and I don't want to be an influencer unless I'm influencing people to be logical, rational, and make good decisions. So if that is what we're into, then I'm an influencer. But anyway, so I actually kind of forgot a lot of what I ordered. A lot of this is skincare stuff, and it is some makeup. So, like I said, I forgot a lot of what I ordered. And so I've got to try and prop up my laptop. I wanted to get Pokey Smokes Bullwinkle. This is actually, this is my niece's room, and it's actually, I guess, my niece's former room. She is 18. She has moved out because she's 18 and she's working toward a more independent life, and we support that. But now we have her empty bedroom. So I live I said it was like a little chit chat, bits and bobs. I live with my sister and our children. I have a son. She has a son. We are a very functional family unit, slightly non-traditional, but it works for us. And then we have the daughter, my niece, and she has lived with us for obviously until she turned 18. But again, so when kids turn 18 and they're starting to get into the world and they want to move out on their own, we support them in that. So anyway, we have her room. We're turning it into a guest room, but it's been, let me see if I can just kind of like show you. It's all like everything's all ripped up. Drawers are empty. The closet's empty, but there's boxes and suitcases and stuff of just like the last bits of her things. And we are putting that either in storage or taking it over to her new place. Anyway, so I was spot cleaning the carpet, and then we're going to use a carpet cleaner to really deep clean, get everything set up, put a guest bed in here. This is, I think it's a full size. Yeah, it's a full mattress, full double. And we've got like a single to put in there for the guest bed. She wants to keep the mattress, so we're going to clean it and put in storage for her. It's her mattress. And then put a guest bed in here, and then probably turn this into like a craft room or something like that. Anyway, it might become more of my studio because that would work great for me. I would enjoy it very much. Anyway, I just need like a tripod or a stand. I'm here on my laptop, so I've got to figure out how to keep this steady. To be completely honest, I was like, well, if I go live, I don't have to like edit it, right? So I just thought I would do live stream. Okay, so let me pull some items out. This is just a really, really nice box. It was quite pricey, and I got a lot of stuff on discount. So the first thing that I'm pulling out here, which by the way, I just started using Poshmark. I've got, some of my stuff that doesn't fit me anymore, or I don't use it anymore, and I'm going to try and sell it. And I'm just buying stuff on Poshmark, discovering that you can get really good stuff for substantially less than usual, like over-the-counter price. So here we've got, says skincare sampler set, Clarins Shiseido. So I think that's what this is. Skincare sampler set. Can't quite get that. So Clarins Shiseido. What's that brand? Clarins. Ole Henriksen. So this is all actually really, really nice high-end stuff. This particular seller, I don't know what are the restrictions on Poshmark. I'd love to give her a shout out. So if I can, I will. But I purchased one or two items from her, and I sent her a thank you in the app, basically saying, hey, I love what you sent me for such a great price. And I made some comments, some notes about my skin and my personal, the changes that my skin has been going through with age. And so I'm looking for products that will really work for me. And so she said, oh, hey, your skin sounds really similar to mine. Here are some great products. And she happened to have some in her inventory, in her closet listings. So I was just very appreciative. Of course, she got sales out of it, but she didn't have to take the time to find out my issues and research and see if she had anything. But so anyway, I'll go over that later because I think she included a little extra gift. This particular seller, like I said, I've already had an order from her. I was very impressed with the quality, with her customer service. And then, as I said, she proceeded to go ahead and do some more research and give me advice based on what I had told her about my own skincare concerns and the type of skincare and makeup that I was looking for. So this is Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess Lumiere. It's a summer look palette for eyes and cheeks. Catch the light, 9 silky shadows to emphasize, customize, and dramatize your eyes, including one that doubles as a highlighter for face and eyes. satin, matte, and shimmer finishes glow like a goddess. So I don't know if I need to glow like a goddess, but in addition to looking for, certain skincare items, I'm also working on getting more high-end makeup. I've been using drugstore makeup my entire life, and there is nothing wrong with that. I will say, as I've gotten older, my skin is less tolerant to it, meaning eyeshadows. I don't know if the formulas have changed or if my skin has just changed or is it both. Eyeshadows are just like chalky. They're drier. They don't stick to me if I'm using my trusty drugstore brands like Maybelline that I've used for years. They're just the foundation that once was really, really great and gave me a very smooth finish, almost flawless. Now it's patchy and shows my pores, just to be brutally honest. So these are the kinds of things that I started researching, and I'm trying some more high-end stuff because the cheap stuff isn't working. This is really more of a luxury indulgence, but I've never had anything from Estee Lauder, and it was quite affordable. And so I thought I would try it. I've also gotten some other nicer makeup. The stuff that I'm wearing on my eyes, I also got on Poshmark. This is from the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. So it's very, people would say like spring toned palette, I guess. So in terms of my order, let's see, I've got the skincare sampler, and I've got the Estee Lauder compact. Then here's another thing that's been packaged. One thing I really liked is that the people that sell on Poshmark, I know some people will probably be like me and they're just trying to clear out their closets, but there are other people that really, really do a great professional job, and I appreciate that. So we've got Clinique 7-Day Scrub Cream. Now I know Clinique is a fairly standard brand, and you can get it in like Target and stuff like that. But this particular seller, again, she gave me some advice, and you know what? If her advice doesn't work out for me, hey, that's fine. It just didn't, the product she recommended might not have worked. But I'm willing to give it a try because I'm tired of patchy makeup with my pores showing. And then this one is Bobbi Brown Remedies Skin Clarifier Purifiant Pore Control and Skin Balance. So this is the Bobbi Brown Remedies Skin Clarifier. So 2 more items that were in my order. And again, the Bobbi Brown thing is clearly focused on your pores. So that's pretty much what I'm into, like being worried about my pores. I know that it is completely normal for people's skin to change as we get older. My skin is going through all kinds of changes. I'm 47. Yes, I'm very honest about my age on the internet. And so as I've gotten older, I have had some changes. I don't think I look too terribly old. I've got like the wrinkles here, but you know what? I don't know. Aside from that, I'm like not terribly wrinkled. So I'm just trying to deal with my skin changes as they come along. All right. So this one is Peter Thomas Roth. This is the Potency Power Serum. It helps improve the look of fine lines, wrinkles, firmness, uneven skin tone, texture, and brightness. So I don't have a lot of uneven skin tone, but I thought it's another thing that I can give it a try. Why not? Test it out for you guys as the human guinea pig that I am, and then go ahead and let you guys know how it works. All right, so then see, it's all just so nicely wrapped in like the bubble wrap is pink, the wrapping paper is pink, or you know, it's white. Like, it's just so beautifully done. I cannot say enough good things about some of the sellers that I've dealt with on Poshmark. I will give them a shout out if I possibly can. This one is Sisley Youth Hydrating Hydrating Energizing Early Wrinkles. Now, I hope it means, I just kind of like, this was not cheap, but it was way cheaper than like retail. And I hope when it says early wrinkles, it fixes early wrinkles. It doesn't give you early wrinkles, but we shall see. So this is the Sisley Youth Hydrating Serum. This is the Clarins Extra Firming Phyto Serum. Again, not cheap, but something like this is like $100. Of course, it's not a small bottle. Some of the things I'm actually really glad, like this sample thing, I am super glad that she was selling a little set of smaller sample items. That way I can try them and see if they work. I don't have to buy a big $100 bottle. It's just really great. You know, just like eating worms. I'll try anything once. Side note, I actually have eaten worms. It's actually not that generally people eat earthworms. That is not usual as far as I know. I would generally we eat what would be called grub worms. They're larval forms of beetles. And because I grew up in another country where we ate insects and things, I have eaten them. But that's a story for another time. This is the Biossance Squalane and Omega Repair Cream. Look at that. So I've had some of this very similar stuff from this brand, Biossance. I've got some wrinkle serum that I'm using right now, actually. But this is a whole like face cream. So it says apply to skin morning and night. So that'll be something that I can add to my skincare regimen. I currently am in the middle of using up some stuff, so I'll have to use it up and then rotate it out. Sorry, my hair got in the way. You can see this is like, I need a hair trim. It's gotten crazy. All right, what's this lovely item? Ooh, Clinique Dramatically Different Hydrating Jelly. Again, this is something that you can get at like over the counter. You can get this at Target, probably Walmart, CVS, anywhere. So I don't have to go to Poshmark to get it. However, this was much cheaper ordering from this Poshmark seller than it was to buy it like from even Target or whatever. Let's see. So I've gotten the already unpacked Dramatically Different Hydrating Jelly, which like jelly seems to be a new trend. There's lots of jellies. Like there's jelly face products, jelly cleansers, jelly hydrators and moisturizers, jelly eye stuff, jelly cheek and lip stuff. It's a thing. So we've gotten the 7-day scrub. We've gotten the Biossance Squalane and Omega Repair Cream. What else? What other magic is in here? There we are. Like I said, so packaged so nicely. I think I got to do like more of this unboxing stuff, even if nobody watches it. Like I said, I'm just trying to get some content up on the channel here. And they won't let me like go live on a mobile device. I guess like you have to install special software. And you have to have more than a certain number of followers in order to like qualify to go from a mobile. Okay, so this is the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel. So like gel and jelly, which is cool. Again, I'm willing to try it if it promises to fix my pores and make me look half my age. Also, if it would like wash my dishes and find me a date, that would be great too. Let's see. So, oh, here's a funny thing. I got the squalane and omega repair cream, and then I ordered the Biossance squalane and vitamin C rose cream. And so I actually ordered that rose oil something. Anyway, I actually ordered that 2 of those. And so that's what this one is. Although I'm not sure. So she smells like. Oh, look. Okay. So squalane and rose oil lip balm and squalane and vitamin C rose oil. I'm good, like serum. Very, very nice. Very nice. And it comes in this little baggie. And then it came in this nice little container. Like it came in its own little box. And then there's another thing in here, which I'm not sure. Is this another? Oh, La Prairie Skin Caviar. Hang on. La Prairie Skin Caviar Lift Liquid Lift, sorry. And this is travel size. So she just put it inside this little bag. So yeah, I mean, this tiny little thing is quite expensive. But again, I am grateful that I can get a small item. Oh, I have someone watching my live stream. I don't know who you are, but hi. Welcome to my live stream. Like I said, just unboxing things like a millennial influencer over here. I have no way of figuring out. I'm sure there's a way for me to figure out. 0875. Oh, hey, Kakak, is that you? Hi. Happy Easter. Selamat Hari Pascha. It's so good to not really see you, but wow, I wish that we could add you to this and have your camera on here. I'm sure there's a way like to do that, but you have to multicast instead of just do a live stream. I don't know how long you've been watching, but are mom and dad and Jeffy and Phoebe there? So just in case, hey everyone, love you. Just doing a live cast, just chit chatting. Oh, okay. But like, hi to Jeffy and Phoebe. Hi. So I'm doing a live cast while just kind of talking about the situations of life and everything, but also unboxing a really, really nice order that I got from Poshmark. So just bringing you up to speed. So, okay. I had mentioned that I accidentally bought two of the Biossance skin serum stuff. And so the seller very, very kindly said, hey, I'll just put in, I can either refund you for that, but we would have had to like reverse the whole order and do something. I don't know. And so she said, either, it's your choice. I'll give you this skin thing or a makeup thing of equivalent value. And I said, I don't really mind. Surprise me. And so I just opened this. You guys, this is a Charlotte Tilbury. This is like an $80 palette. Oh my goodness. This is gorgeous. It's called Starry Eyes to Hypnotize. And yeah, it is just amazingly beautiful. So this is so not super commonly known, but I do really like things like makeup and skincare. And so I've been investing, as I mentioned earlier, I've been investing in higher end makeup and skincare. As I get older, I find that, yeah, the older, cheaper stuff doesn't really work for me anymore. And that's actually probably very normal. So Charlotte Tilbury, I thought I heard my neighbor kid like on his skateboard or something. There's that distinctive like scraping of wheels on the ground, but I don't see him out there. So either I'm fantasizing or hallucinating, or else he's just around like down the street where I can't see him. Anyway, so this is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. So I've gotten some Natasha Denona, like the one that I'm wearing right now, and I've gotten a Charlotte Tilbury, and yeah, working on like improving my makeup techniques, bettering my makeup skills. One thing that I will observe but not go into great detail about is the fact that using brushes, makeup brushes, and things like that was something that professionals would do, but it wasn't extremely common in the 1990s and early 2000s for just normal consumers to have brushes and sets of brushes and like huge collections of brushes that we would use for makeup. We would get these little tiny plastic sticks that had bits of sponge on the ends, and that was what you used to apply your makeup. And people did not use brushes. That seems like in the last 15 or 20 years, it became much more common for people who, all all of my kakak viewers who care so much about makeup application. But I will point out, kakak, that you're a theater kid and you know more about makeup than most men, because you have done many shows where you had to wear makeup. So then the seller included a little gift. So I found that's something that a lot of sellers do on Poshmark. If I sell stuff, I will plan to do the same thing. Just include a little extra gift with a thank you. And of course, this seller, this young lady, is ultimate consummate professional. And so her customer service is fantastic. And oh no, I don't have scissors. I guess I'll just have to rip it. Oh, yeah, it's like 10 to 15 years ago, it became way more mainstream to have them. Yeah, and so they also became more widely available and affordable. I really don't remember even makeup brushes being in stores 20 plus years ago. So I will put in a little plug here for Padre 0875. He is extremely knowledgeable about many things, including such things as Warhammer miniature figurines. Padre, do you have a YouTube channel? Is that your channel name? So you'll have to post more on your channel. But anyway, so we've got a bunch of other little samples, and it's just a fantastic order. I'm incredibly, incredibly happy. Well, I don't post on this very often, and I'm trying to change that. I've started working on recording and filming discussions on topical issues, but I'm finding that as I get older, I'm like, I don't want to talk about serious stuff. The world is full of problems. The world is full of problems, and it's full of stupid people who don't listen to my advice anyway. What we should do is you should and I should get together, and then we'll talk about all those things. You can plug your poetry, and I'll talk about my research into Dante and Plato, because I always try to explain to people, and this is, again, for any 100% of the people on the planet that are not watching, but if anybody watches this on replay, I have a very interesting family. Everybody in my family is very, very interesting. I'm the least interesting person in my family. So we have many attractive, brilliant, accomplished, adventurous people. And so Padre 0875 is a brilliant, talented, accomplished, successful person in multiple fields. So I will just leave it at that, because I think that he can speak for himself. But anyway, so we've got another Shiseido sample. This is clarifying cleansing foam. So, by the way, as I'm getting old, my eyes are getting even worse than they have been. So I love, love, love that I've got sample sizes. I can take them when I travel, and I can try them out and decide if that's a product that I want to invest in long term. So, well, I would say I think you're more accomplished than I am. So I won't tell your secrets on the internet, but our mother is very proud of you. We've got Dr. Barbara Sturm anti-aging serum. Maybe I'll look 12 by the time I'm done with all this stuff. Kombucha cleansing treatment from Fresh. Fresh is a brand that I've heard of, but only recently. Oribe Gold Lust Transformative Mask. I think our mother, she's a little bit Asian in that she says, she will say nice things to our face, but she's always very, very anxious to praise us to other people. So she tells me all about the successes that my siblings have, and she's, for the internet, my mother is obviously rightfully very proud of Padre 0875 and his wife, who is basically the living embodiment of a Proverbs 31 woman, and their adorable and smart daughter, who is my other niece. So let's see, we've got a sheet mask, Perlise. Again, I've heard of that brand, but I'm not super familiar with it. Another deep clearing, purifying mask, and silk and collagen sheet mask. I love sheet masks. And then some little, they're tablets. I'm like, are they mints? There's writing on them. It is in Japanese. It is not Korean, because I can read Korean. Compressed cleaning something. So anyway, this was pretty much an expensive investment, but I considered investment because, along with trying to eat more healthily and stay active, exercise, get lots of fresh air and sunshine, I'm trying to take care of my 47-year-old body, because I'm not getting any younger, and this is the only life that I have. It's the only body that I have. So just getting a little bit of stuff that is higher quality. You want to eat good food. You don't want to eat junk food. You want to use good skincare and good hair care, because it really does make a difference. So, just one more thing. This is called Mally. Mally, it's lip gloss. I have heard of this brand Mally, but don't know anything about it. The color of the lip gloss is sweet peach. So, and it's interesting because it looks a little bit peachy, but it's more like baby pink. Doesn't have a scent. And usually when I put on anything that's like peachy, it turns pink on me. I'm very pink. So I don't know, Kakak, how interested you are in makeup, but I thought it's pretty good makeup and skincare haul. And again, I'm not trying to be an influencer, but if I am going to influence anyone, I want it to be influencing them to be logical and make wise and good decisions. So today was Resurrection Sunday, Easter, and I was remembering I did not go to in-person church. I went to church online. My mom and dad were also going to church online. We have a live streaming service. Typically, I go to in-person, and my mom and dad go to the same church. They attend the same congregation that I do. And I love to sit with them. And sometimes my dad preaches. It's really good. I suffer from quite a bit of social anxiety. And a lot of it is actually activated by things like church, because there's a lot of expectation that, as someone that's attending, as someone that's in the pews, so to speak, you're expected to socialize, you're expected to be friendly and talk to people you don't know. And for some of us that are neurodivergent or suffer from other mental health issues, it's very, very, very challenging. And when I am, so backing up, it's Easter, which means there will be a lot of visitors. A lot of people don't go to church every Sunday, but they might go on Easter or Christmas, or Easter and Christmas. And so I knew that the church would be packed, that there would be a lot of visitors, that I would be by myself, because my son, who also obviously comes to church, is he was spending the weekend at a friend's house. So without mom and dad, I would have been kind of by myself. And with a crowded church full of strangers, at the age that I am very comfortable taking a step back and applying wisdom to my situation and understanding when it's advisable for me to stretch myself and push myself maybe to go to attend an in-person service, and when it's wiser to spend the morning with my pets, who I like more than I like most people anyway, and enjoy the teaching from the comfort of my own home without social anxiety. And so I chose no social anxiety. Go figure. Um, and I'm I always have been the kind of person that did not care if other people agreed with my decisions. I've always been the kind of person that really didn't seek other people's approval, except maybe my close family, close friends. I care what they think. Everyone else on the planet, I don't care what they think. Um, but it's possible that about 20, even 10 years ago, I might have been more concerned about like, oh, should I push myself to go to church on Easter, even if it's just me? But now I'm like, if I'm not going to go to church, I'm not going to go to church. I don't care. I don't care whose opinion, who has an opinion about it. And I don't care what that opinion is. The only opinion I care about is, well, mine, but also my parents, my sisters, my sons, those are people whose opinions I care about. And I know that also having a panic attack in the middle of church um, on Easter would not be conducive to anyone's health and happiness. Not for me, not for the congregants and attendants around me. I've actually been in situations where they have the mandatory meet and greet.
Oh, are you on the phone?
No, I'm just I'm rambling on the internet. Dan's here.
Oh, hi.
Mia says hi.
I was just gonna see if maybe you wanted to look at the stones I was laying out when you had a chance.
Yeah, in a couple minutes.
Sorry.
Um,
Didn't know you were doing something.
so it's okay. I'm just live streaming to get content on my channel. Sorry, I got distracted. So she says hi. She's working in the yard. I worked in the yard earlier. Anyway, I've been in situations where in many congregations, they have a mandatory meet and greet where they say, talk to the person next to you or go meet someone that you don't know. That sounds terrible. That's a horrible idea. I don't want people to come and talk to me. I'm sure nobody wants me to come talk to them. I don't know why they would even do that in church, to be honest. But they do that in my church. And I have had situations where my social anxiety was so bad that I literally had to leave the sanctuary and I went into the ladies' room and vomited because my social anxiety would be so intense. Now, I'm a lot healthier mentally and physically than I was then because my physical and mental health go together. And so, as I'm healthy and I'm stable, I handle things better, but I still do have situations where I have really bad social anxiety and I can get induced into a panic attack and I will go and like puke because my stress is so bad that my stomach just gives up. So, yeah, so for those of us who are introverts, and especially introverts with social anxiety, which I've always had, I've always been introverted, as you know, and I've struggled with big crowds. I've struggled to meet people, talk to people that I don't know. It's always been how I am. And I think it's really normal and really okay for a lot of us. It's not I don't think it's normal to want to meet new people and talk to people. Why would I want to do that? I don't I don't even like people in general, especially not people I don't know. But I all that to say, I looked at the situation. I do love going to church with mom and dad. And often, when we are sitting in church, we're also surrounded by close friends and people that I've known for a long time. And so I'm comfortable. But I knew because mom and dad weren't going to be there. And a lot of people were seeing family or they had family visiting them. It was just going to be a lot more chaotic and there would be a different mix of people there. I knew that was going to be the case. And so I took a bye and said, not today, church. We're not doing this. And it's unfortunate that for some of us who are believers, church should be a place where we feel safe and where our differences are like understood and recognized, and if not valued, at least understood and tolerated. But it seems very much as if there's only one brand of Christian that's really welcome in church, and it's the kind that's an extrovert and isn't, you're not allowed to have social anxiety. You're not allowed to be uncomfortable. You're not allowed to have strengths that are something else. There are so many gifts and so many strengths that people have in the body. And I know you know that, Kakak. Um, there's so many different types of people. And the Bible makes this very clear where it talks about not everyone is an eye or a hand or a foot. We're all different. But it seems as if we have a hard time recognizing, accepting, and incorporating all the different types of believers and followers of Christ that there are. And it's not acceptable to be different than the cookie cutter mold. Luckily, I've spent my whole life being different, spent my whole life being not like everyone else. So in school, I was always like the only girl in the physics class, or, the only girl in the third semester Greek class. And then at work, I'm like the only female on the engineering management team. So I'm used to being individual. I'm used to being not like other people, and I'm comfortable with that. But I wish that I didn't have to have the resilience to be comfortable with that sort of thing in something like the church. I think the church should be way more welcoming and accepting of different people. And I wonder what Jeffy thinks about that, because I know she's an introvert, but she seems like she's pretty good with people. So it'd be interesting to get her thoughts on that. So finishing up my Starbucks, hashtag not sponsored. One thing that I always remember on Easter Sunday is that, so it's exactly 35 years on Easter Sunday since I was baptized. I was baptized on Easter Sunday of 1990. I think. It could have been 1989, but I think it was 1990. It was in Centani, it was in the pool, and it was Easter Sunday. That's what I remember about it. I remember you, Kakak, were baptized the year before me. So whatever you were baptized, the next Easter, I was baptized in Centani. So anyway, let's see, other bits and bobs. It's the second really, really nice spring weekend, at least here. It is my understanding that it is getting warm to the point of being super hot already in Phoenix. Okay, 88 and 89. I trust your memory. I was like, I trust you. I just don't remember if it was in 6th grade or 7th grade. But it sounds like if you were in 6th grade in 88, then you would have, and you got baptized. I got baptized the following year. I just don't remember if it was 6th or 7th grade. But anyway, it doesn't matter, because the important thing is that we did it. And it just always meant a lot to me. I remember being baptized. I remember that it was a commitment for me. I remember why I chose to do it, and it was very much my choice. And it was very much something that I studied. We had a baptism class, and I remember I actually wanted to do it the same year that you did it. And I think Anna Lorenz then, but Anna Larkin now, was also doing it with you. But for some reason, either I didn't or I wasn't allowed to or something. I don't remember why. And that's fine, because gave me another year to think about it and decide that it was something that I really wanted to do. And it was just a really special memory for me. So interestingly, okay, it's not too hot. My Roland Morgan has been posting on Facebook complaining about how it's getting really hot. So I thought it was hot, but it's probably just Roland complaining, to be honest. Also, when I lived in Phoenix and I was there in April, it was very pleasant. And I didn't think it was really that bad, even in the summer. Because I was there in like June, July, and it was 110 or something. As long as you weren't out like running a marathon or doing heavy labor, it was fine. I didn't mind it at all. So I would take the kid out in the stroller and like walk to the store to get groceries and walk back. I was up at 7th and Bell. 7th and Bell. Yeah. So anyway, oh yeah, you can see behind me. Well, maybe you can't see, but it was lovely. It was mild, not too hot, sunny. So Mia and I, we actually did some, so she's still out there doing yard work. We're digging up, we have a swing set, and it's not like one of those little cheap swing sets that's made out of aluminum and 6 feet tall. No, no, no. It's made out of like solid welder's poles. And it's like 12 feet tall. And it's like solid metal that's like this big around. And it's got like the chains, the way you would find on a playground, like actual solid chains with links at least that big. So we got a proper like outdoor swing set. We don't use it. We use it a little in the summer. And the kids use it, but we're thinking of like at least around the border, it's got like mulch or whatever. So it has I want to say railroad ties, but like the planks of wood, 2x4 planks of wood. No, they're like 4x4 or 6x6, sorry. In a rectangle around it, and there's mulch in there. So we're gonna do beds around the side of it, not all the way around it, but just on one side of it so that we can still use the swings, but we don't use the swings all the time and we only use a couple of the swings. So we're gonna do one end and try to grow beans and peas and fence it off so that the dogs don't get into it and the deer. So, so yeah, here in Central Ohio, it is getting to be spring. I really, really hope it doesn't get cold again. There was frost this week in the mornings. There was frost, and so let's see, it's the 20th. Yeah, it's the 20th, which means the latest that I can remember snow in the last 16 years when I lived here, we had it on April 23rd. So we could still get snow in the next week. I hope we don't, but we can. Your mom's outside, love. Anyway, so we're pushing an hour. I don't really know what else to talk about. Also, I don't know. What's the typical length of a live stream? I did a live stream actually for the eclipse about a year ago. And I think that was a reasonable live stream because it was the eclipse and we were like within 2 degrees of the totality or whatever. So we were really, really close to the totality. And that was just like in mom and dad's yard. So I live streamed that. But aside from that, I've never done a live stream. And that was a special occasion, not just a random live stream. So maybe next time I'll do a get ready with me, but that means that I'll have to be getting on when I'm not ready. Is that what people do? What do people do? What do influencers do? Well, no, those are influencers that do makeup. What do influencers do if they want to influence people to logic and wisdom? What they do is they get their older brother on with them and talk to their older brother about stuff. That's what they do. I think that's what I should do. Maybe I could get my younger brother. He's no slouch. And I just got a text from my sister. She says, "Can you come look at the stones in the yard?" Wait a minute. Stones? Oh, okay. I think she's setting up the stones for our fire pit. Maybe that would be a super great live stream. Join us for a fire in our fire pit some summer evening. We won't do that this evening, but maybe some evening. So, okay. Well, I will finish up my little Poshmark dealy bob. But anyway, I hope that all one of you enjoyed jumping online and joining me for my random chit chat and Poshmark unboxing. I would say, in the interest of wisdom and logic, if you are young and you are in a more financially challenged situation, you may not be best served by purchasing even discounted high-end skincare. Although then if you are young but you can use nice skincare, then like you have to do less later in life because you've taken care of it earlier in life. I don't know. I mean, I don't think we even used like moisturizer when I was a teenager. I don't remember doing anything skincare related. I don't know. I guess we did sunscreen when we went to the beach or were outside for long periods of time. But aside from that, like that wasn't a thing when I was young. So I'm trying to play catch up in my 40s. But if you are young, you have a lot more, I guess, latitude in what you can do. You can wear crazy makeup looks. You can probably wear cheap makeup because it's like you've got young skin. Everything looks good on you. And then for those of us who are older, first of all, I work full time. I have a stable career. I've worked a long time. And I've reached the point in my life where I have plenty of, I've covered all my bills and I have enough left over that I can spend a little bit more than I did 20, 25 years ago. And for some of what I'm doing, like I mentioned, it's kind of an investment. If I spend $50 on good skincare now, when I'm in my 70s, I won't have to worry about it as much. If I wear good sunscreen now, I'll have less likelihood of cancer in my 70s and 80s, right? So if I'm buying high quality skincare and makeup now, it'll just serve me and my skin and my overall health better in the long run. So be wise in how you utilize your finances, pay your bills, don't buy things on credit. If you can't afford it without going on borrowing for it, you can't afford it. Now, there are some things my father always points out. If you're going to buy something on credit, it must be an appreciating asset, something that increases in value. And he always points to real estate and education. Now, in the past 20 or so years, we've started to see that borrowing to finance an education may not be the wisest choice, but perhaps it's also what kind of education you get and how you apply it, right? It's up to you to bring value to your life. It's up to you to make good decisions about your education. And you get out of it maybe what you put into it. Also, a lot of education is free. Read a book. Go to the library. Get a book. Okay? You're smarter than people who have fancy liberal arts degrees, okay? Read Economics in One Lesson by Henry Hazlitt. You'll be smarter than a lot of people that went to Harvard. Just saying. Read Read all kinds of books. That's very wise. Do that. Do that. But anyway, in terms of your money, don't go into debt. I have only one debt. I've paid off my student debt. And now I have my mortgage. And I work very hard to pay it off early. And basically, I think, yeah, aside from those things, if you can't afford to buy it straight up, you can't afford it. And I know, again, some people are very good with credit cards and they utilize credit cards to build credit, get points, things like that. And I mean, that's up to you how you use your money. I just don't care for credit cards, mostly because I just don't like the idea. But I had a Kohl's card and I used it for points and stuff. Never ever paid interest because I always paid it like the very next day. I would go online and pay the bill. But I don't know. I just stopped using it and I didn't use it, and so they canceled it. So I don't think I have my Kohl's card anymore. So bye-bye Kohl's Cash, I guess. That's okay. Lauren Conrad stopped selling the jeans that fit me properly, and so I have no reason to go to Kohl's anymore. Elsie by Lauren Conrad, their new flare jeans from like the 2012, 2013 years, flawless. Denim and black. I would buy those 100 times over. But she stopped selling those and switched to different like boyfriend jeans, skinny jeans. No. Okay, I know what I like. I know what I want. I will pay money for it. Bring back the new flare that you had like 13 years ago, Lauren Conrad. Until then, I'm not going back to Kohl's. I'm sure Kohl's is super broken up about it. Anyway, I live in a zoo. We have, hey, hi there. Uh-huh. Oh, you got boogies on your nose? That's crazy. Hi. Yeah, hey. So, all right. Oh, you're leaving? You leaving Berlin? Come here. Well, we're online. We're live. Okay. Do you want to come say hi? Come on. Why's your eyes watering? Are you allergic to something? Oh, poor kitty. So, all right, this has been the most exciting live stream of all time. But I know Papa and Ibu must be getting there sometime soon. And so I know, let's see, is it 5:11 or 4:11 out in Phoenix? Either way, I know you'll want to see mom and dad and be there with your wife and daughter and have family time. So I also am going to go, I'll sign off and look at the stones in the yard that Mia wants me to look at, and then clean up, get ready for a whole new week, and I hope make good decisions. So, yeah. Oh, points of wisdom. Don't go into debt. If you can't afford to pay it up front with cash, you can't afford it. A few exceptions, like, real estate or education with footnotes. And then we don't pay full price. We don't pay full price. Okay? When something is released and it's fancy and new, maybe you really want it. But you don't have to have it. You can always wait for a sale or buy it used or wait till it's on clearance. Okay? Don't pay full price. Those are the words of wisdom. All right. So everyone have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful remainder of Easter and enjoy. Looks like even in the Southwest, it's not too hot yet and it's not too cold here. in the Midwest and the East, at least not right now. Wait 10 minutes, it could change. And it looks like we don't have a tornado right now, so I'll take it. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, everyone.